Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving my initial thoughts on the new hero from Bright Lights -IO, kind of give you an initial deck concept that I'm thinking, as well as kind of give you other ways that I think the heroes can be played just from a base level, and hopefully give you a decent start when it comes to building your first deck if you're completely don't know where to go with it, just for something to try. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to check out my other videos. I've been doing a lot of Flesh and Blood content in lieu of the Bright Lights spoilers and pre-release this week and then eventual release next week. And if you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Patreon and the Discord down below. So we're going to get into it. -IO, the new version of Dash. 36 life, 4 intellect hero. You may look at the top card of your deck at any time. Once per turn, you may play a Mechanologist item with cost 0 or 1 from the top of your deck as though it were an instant. It costs an additional resource to play if you do it this way. So the 36 life for me was interesting. That's the first take I'm going to give. It's interesting to give a hero. I know this is a pseudo 5 intellect hero, right? Because you can look at the top card of your deck at any time. But giving a hero less life that also is going to run arguably probably like 15 to 18 non-blocks in their deck, maybe like 12 or at the least, to even make the hero worth running. Unless someone finds like a wonky build to use that doesn't involve items and just involves opting. But regardless, being able to use this ability but have that many non-blocks in your deck, having less life is scary. So you got to find a way to make up that life. So when you look at there's a ton of 0 and 1 cost items that you can play. These are all the ones from both prior sets and the new set. So I'm not going to go over every one, but you have cards like Boom Grenade, which allow you to put it in instant speed, and it says when a Mechanologist attack action card you control hits a hero, destroy this, and it deals 4 damage at red, 3 at yellow, and 2 at blue. So you're able to basically play a boost attack, right? Like play a data link, opt 1. Let's say it's not, here comes the boom, you put it down, a Boom Grenade, and then you see Boom Grenade on top eventually, and then you're like, okay, in the reaction step, I'm going to pay 1 resource. I'm going to sneak in a red Boom Grenade because it's instant speed, and since this hasn't hit yet, now all of a sudden, if they don't have any defense reactions, this data link is now hitting for 7. So it allows you to get more respect from your opponents on some of these big attacks. So Boom Grenade is really cool. Another couple of offensive pieces are like Convection Amplifier to give your attacks dominate. Overload Script will give your attacks overpower. Overload Script gives all your attacks overpower as long as it's on the field, whereas Convection Amplifier is 1. Penetration Script will give all your Mechanologist attacks +1. So there's a lot of offensive-minded ones, but there's also a lot of defensive-minded ones. Security Script gives +1 to your Mechanologist attack action cards, +1 defense. You have Stasis Sail, which prevents them from activating equipment. All types of stuff, right? Mini Force Field, which is basically like a Mechanologist Oasis. Respite. So there's a lot of different ways you can take Dash. I think one of the cooler ways I want to take her is more of an aggro, like combat trick way. I see the life disparity. I want to be able to make up for that by just pushing really heavy damage, basically playing boost Dash with the ability to put in Boom Grenades and be able to punish my opponent for not blocking. So that's kind of where I'm taking it. My original item set is a 9 of it Boom Grenades. And then I'm running 1 Plasma mainline, because if I can get this out early with Spark of Genius, it makes all of your items last an extra turn, right? So when Boom Grenade comes in, let's just say you play off the top of your deck and they don't let your attack hit that turn. You take a counter off of it at the start of your next turn, and then if you don't get an attack to hit that turn, then it just goes away because it'll pop the next turn after that, right? So it lasts 1.5 turns, essentially. Well, if you have Plasma Mainline out, you're able to put another counter on Boom Grenade when it comes in, which then allows it to last 2.5 turns, right? Then I have other ones in here like Teklo Core, which will put another Steam counter on Teklo Core, giving it, give +2 resources for 3 turns. Optical Monocle will get 6 Steam counters, allowing you to opt 6 times, all types of stuff. So I think this is a really good fuel engine if you can get out early with Spark of Genius, similar to how Plasma Purifier works with, Hybrid Dash. So being able to do that is really, really good. So when it comes to items, I'm running 9 Boom Grenades, 1 Plasma mainline that makes 10. And then I'm running 2 Optical Monocles and 1 Teklo Core. So really, I'm just trying to run Boost Dash, constantly look at the top card of my deck, see what I'm about to banish. And all of my cards, with the exception of Plasma Mainline, all of my items are 0 cost. So it's really easy to get them out. When it comes to attacks, I'm running Data Link because it lets me opt one if it hits. So like in my previous example, you couldn't opt, but when you play Data Link, you have to opt after it hits. But regardless, similar concept. Dive through data. When it hits, opt one. So again, we're just trying to power cycle to get to these boom grenades. Expedite says when it hits, you may put an item with cost 0 or 1 from your hand into the arena, which again works with Plasma Mainline because you'll still get the counter onto that item if Plasma Mainline's already on the field. I have a defense reaction firewall. Like this is a 0 for 4 that doesn't lose my action point if I boost it away, which is really nice. So I put that in the deck as well. Heist allows me to put if an item does get banished for whatever reason, maybe you're playing Assassin or it gets banished off of an accidental boost, being able to go get it with Heist is really nice, and it's a 2 for 5, so it's good rate. High Octane is really good in this deck because it synergizes well with Dash IO's new weapon, which is Symbiosis Shot. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's as an action, remove a steam counter from this attack, so it works similar to the Tekla Plasma Pistol. However, you don't load it by paying 1 resource. Whenever a Mechanologist item enters the arena under your control, if it has fewer than 6 steam counters, you may put a steam counter on this. So if you put 2 items down in a turn, this gets 2 steam counters. So it works similar to how the Tekla Plasma Pistol worked with Old Dash, where if you play a high octane turn and this has a bunch of steam counters on it, you could essentially literally just keep shooting this for free, right? As long as you have the action points to do it, right? When it comes to other attacks, Pulse Wave Harpoon, just a really good attack. Med-X, again, similar to Expedite, allows me to put items from hand into the arena. Torqued, Tuned, I really like. If an item you control has been destroyed this turn, it gains Overpower. It's just a way to like close games. You do Payload or something like that. I just wanted to use a new card. You could definitely put Payload in here just as easily. I also like the Galvanize. Being able to block 4 with this is kind of cool. Zoom In, I actually put in here. It's a 2 for 5 boost that says when you attack with Zoom In, opt X, where X is the number of times you boosted this combat chain. So if you play 0 cost, and then you pitch a blue to zoom in, you can, opt 3. So that's really, really nice. Spark of Genius, our main target, our first and always going to be our first target is Plasma Mainline, and then we'll probably look for like Monocle and then Tekla Core are our next 2. Monocle is really nice drive engine to be able to quickly opt to your boom grenades. Being able to opt 5 times is really nice. Again, since it says action, remove a steam counter from Optical Monocle, opt 1, go again. You literally could just keep opting until you find your boom grenade if you wanted to. So there's those. For the equipment, Achilles Accelerator is pretty common here. Crown of Providence, again, common. Goliath Gauntlet's really nice for like some of these tall attacks that I'm wanting to do. You could use Bender, but overall I just wanted to try to buff maybe like a good zoom in or a good heist to be able to, just help it out a little bit more. Nothing too crazy, but you could sub this for Bender if you wanted the block value. Tekla Foundry Heart, and then model for the sideboard when it comes to Wizard. In the sideboard I have Fate Foreseen, and then Mini Force Field, good defensive options. Payload for Jeremiah, as well as anything I have to close out games. Scrap Harvester is really nice. I like using this because in like games that are a little bit slower, you could put this in, and what you'll do is, a card is just an item is destroyed. You then scrap it down to your banish zone, and then you're able to go get it with cards like Heist, right? So there are some synergy with that. I have a 1 of unmovable because I had 1 left in the slot. And then finally, Cognition Nodes is for Jeremiah to be able to keep threats in deck. Other thoughts you could use for this, Underloop is another really good attack that you could even put in the Heist slot if you want to, or in the Torque Tune slot just to kind of have a little bit more recursion. And then I have a 2 of BIOS update because the next attack action card you boost this turn gets +3. That's always a good thing. It's a 3-block, 0-cost pump, and it says the next time a Mechanologist item with 2 or less is banished to pay for boost cost this turn, put it into the arena. So this has really good synergy because if I look at the top card of my deck and let's say I see a Boom Grenade, not even a Boom Grenade because that's one you'd want to instant speed in. Let's say I see a Tekla Core. I can leave it on top. I can play BIOS update and then play like a tall attack like Heist, and if it hits, and then boost away Tekla Core, and they see that it's boosted away, and they basically know that if I let this hit, they're going to get a free Tekla Core into the arena, right? So I really like that. I actually might end up going to a 3-up for this. We'll have to see. But yeah, there's a lot of good options you could do with these decks. This is where I'm taking it, but really, I mean, you could do a hyper defensive deck if you wanted to with cards with cards like Stasis Cell and even Signal Jammer for Rune Blade. Security Script's really good for that. Powder Keg helps destroy equipment. Mini force fields like an Oasis. There's a lot of ways you could go about doing this. I like the zero cost ones because they just give a lot more flexibility into playing them. But there's so many ways you could take Dash.io. Someone might end up just saying, hey, I'm going to play Dash.io like a boost dash without items and be able, but have some non-mechanologist attacks and always make sure that I don't, boost them away because I can see them on top of my deck before I would do so. So it all depends. There's a couple different ways people could take it. But yeah, check out the list. Let me know what you think of it once they put everything up in Talishar. I'd love to get y'all's thoughts. Again, I just wanted to throw like a general concept together and then make adjustments from there. That's kind of like how I like to do decks. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what other content you want to see for Bright Lights as we go forward. I'm maybe trying to do 2 videos a day for the next week or 2, so it should be a good time. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much. Have a good day.